Covers, van life window covers. I have gotten a lot of questions about these covers and where I got them, mostly on Reddit and Twitter because that's where I posted most of my progress when I was making them. That's right, I made them, I didn't buy them. With a little bit of help of mom, it was a pain in the ass, but I got them done. I'll get to why they were a pain in the ass to make in a second. At the end of the video, I'm also going to talk about how are they to live with after a few months that I've had them. I wanted to test them out when it's hot, and I also wanted to test them out when it got a little chilly. First, let's talk about the material. On the outside is this blackout thermal curtain material. I bought it at Home Depot. They have different colors. I got mine in black because I have windows all over the van. They are tinted and the black blends in really well with the windows. For the most part, if the sun doesn't beat directly on them, it's really hard to tell that they're even up. The material on the inside is actually different from the material on the outside. I chose this canvas light, I want to say it's white, but it's kind of a light khaki yellowish color. It's the canvas color. You let me know in the comments below what color do you think that is. Oop, it's starting to rain a bit. Not the best day to be filming, but this is van life, so we do what we can here in the studio of my van. Alright, moving on. They had darker colors for the canvas, but I did choose this color specifically because in a small place when they're up, it actually does make the place feel bigger. It also contrasts the wood in here, which is a bit dark, and it makes it not feel like a sauna. It breaks it up a bit. Being a canvas material, I also have the option in the future, if I choose to do so, to paint or draw on them. I have some ideas. We'll see if I get the time to actually do something like that, but the option is there. Now, the insulation that I used to make these curtains to put inside them, I chose Havelock wool. It's a bit pricey, however it's very good for van life because it doesn't keep moisture, it's natural, no chemicals, and they also have other properties that you can definitely check out on their website. What's cool about this company is that they make a package for van life, so you can buy a box, which I did, and it's proportioned in such a way that it's very easy to use for any van, and they give you enough where you don't have to figure out how much you need to buy, which is great. This is definitely not sponsored by Havelock wool, but after doing some research, I think it's some of the best materials that can be used in a van or a vehicle to insulate it better than the typical Home Depot stuff, which is usually pretty much made for houses. Now, if the people at Havelock will want to sponsor this video, I mean, let's talk. I got all my descriptions down below in the video. Because I got the big box of Havelock wool, this is a bit off topic, but I also took down the insulation that I had underneath this ceiling, and I also put a bunch of Havelock wool. It's a pain in the ass to put on, but I got it done. It made a huge difference on the ceiling, around the windows. What I've used for the windows before, it was just that Reflectix that you buy and you're supposed to put in your window, and that was covered in material, so it doesn't look like Reflectix. Didn't do anything. But this now does, in combination with having on the outside layer a thermal curtain material. I'm pretty much double insulated, if that makes any sense. The difficulties that I had when I measured the materials to cut for the curtains, I did measure a bit to have more so I can, when I stuff it, when it shrinks, I still have a lot of room. I think some of them are at the limit. Now, why was it a pain in the ass to make? Where do I begin? Calculating how much bigger I need to make them after they get stuffed with the wool, that was kind of a pain in the ass because some of the windows are not even. For example, my window right here is not even. The one back here is not even. What I mean by that is not a even shape. Some corners are rounder. This one's bigger on top, and then it's a bit smaller on the bottom. Shaping the whole thing to make sure that it doesn't look too off. I gotta tell you, window covers are expensive for a reason. Just measuring it is just a pain. Now, I'm not a professional. I'm guessing if you're a professional, it's not as hard. As you can see, they are attached with snaps because they're heavy. I tried to do magnets, didn't find any magnets that could hold them up, especially if I'm down the road on the highway and I go over some bump, they would just fall off. Snaps are a lot easier to work with than you might think. The snaps are only on the top portion and on the sides just to keep them up. The weight of the cover kind of keeps the bottom snug, so it would have been pointless for me to add more snaps if I didn't need to. So that's what I didn't do. I will put some links down below for the snap kits that I've used for my window covers. If you're interested, click those down below. It'll take you right there. You'll be set to go. Another property that this Havelock wool has, which is amazing, especially if you sleep on the side of the road, it also has very good sound deadening properties, because we all know at 7 o'clock in the morning people are zooming by and going to work. So if I don't wake up until then, which I typically usually do because of that, but now I got used to sleeping a little bit later in the day. Not that late, like 7:30, 8 o'clock. When I have them up, especially where my pillows are, they're actually very soft, so I can like sit up, lean against them. They're pretty comfortable. I try not to work on my laptop in bed, but once in a while I do. And when I have them up, I can lean against them and my pillow in the back, and it's very, very comfortable. If somebody's walking by on the street and they're just minding their own business, they can't really tell that there's light on. And I went around a few times when it was pitch dark and I left the light on. You can't really tell unless you're really looking. If somebody's really looking, then there's bigger problems than that. Might be an officer. Now, the way I position these snaps is that I can actually incrementally fold them down. I usually just take down the first portion of it. It's pretty nice because I get a lot of light in here during the day. That's why I like the snaps, because they're super easy to use. I can snap them back on, I can snap them all, take them away, throw them somewhere in the front seat. What's my final thought with these window covers at the end of the day? After a few months of having them, I love them. They're sound deadening. They keep temperature control in here much better. Now, if you're in extreme weather, just like in a house, it's kind of hard to keep temperature the way you want, but they do a way, way better job than what I had before. Will I go through the blood, sweat, and tears? Will I go through the blood, sweat, and tears that I've gone through to make them again if I had to? Maybe, but I would definitely have a better plan of attack. I don't like to sew. I have a cheap, bad machine. I just bought it because of these. Broke a bunch of needles. It was very frustrating because these materials, they do not like to sew together. The machine does not like it. Because of that, that's where my mom came in and helped me sew the outside of them by hand, because the machine just wouldn't do it. So don't ask me to build a business off of it, because it's not my forte. What I can tell you is that if you see high quality window covers cost a lot of money, now I can see why. It takes a lot of work, a lot of expertise, which I don't have, a lot of patience, which I also don't have much of. Check out this video up here if you want to see my electrical system, which I just revamped in the van. It was a great upgrade. Thank you for coming along on today's video. Like, subscribe, do all the fun stuff that you like down below, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace!